Hi everyone, today at the Love and Toast Homestead, I'm Crystal and we are going to can some beef broth. We got our half a cow back from the butcher and we got a lot of soup bones and bone marrow bones, so we want to take advantage of it. So first what we're going to do is, these are already defrosted or de-thawed, whatever you want to say. We're going to open these up and put them in this pot. So these are the bone marrow bones. Whoop, 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 whoop. Our kitchen sink is clean, so I'm not worried about contamination. Pause it for a second. Okay, so now that we have all our bones and marrow in here, we are going to fill this pot up with water so all the bones are covered. Okay, so now that we're pretty close, I'll probably leave it at that. We are going to bring it over to the stove. And then we're going to put it on high heat. We're going to bring it to a boil. And then we're going to let it simmer for 3. That looks great. Okay, so now that our beef broth is simmering, we are going to put it on a lower heat, like a medium, so it's going to simmer for 3 to 4 hours. Okay, so I let my broth cool overnight. Just it makes it a lot easier to take everything out, plus it gets to soak and simmer. So next we are going to take out the bones. And I'm putting these on these trays and I'm going to bake them in the oven, and these will be perfect for the dogs. And I'm even gonna leave the meat on. I know some people take it off and they'll put it into the stew, like some of this, like I'll put that in, but I'll leave it in. Like I'll leave some out, but some I'll leave on here so I can make into dog treats and stuff too. It's a little bits, but this is actually a big chunk. I didn't actually realize how big of a chunk this was. Yeah. Okay. So it depends what you want to do. This is still warm from last night, so I just gotta be really careful not to burn myself. It says a lot of good meat chunks on it, so I'll keep these in here. And sometimes I'll just start pulling some off. It's a lot of that. Okay. And if you look at the chicken side, it's actually the same bone marrow bones you get at the store that they sell for dog bones. I'll leave a super small mousey. Just a big chunk of that. Alright, so I'm washing these away. Okay, next I'm going to put these in the oven. I'm going to dehydrate them. It's probably going to take all day. So I have a dehydrating setting on my oven, and it's going to be at 150. So I'm just going to put this first one in. I got to take this one out. I was dehydrating some peppers. This one in. Okay, so now we're going to skim the fat off. Skim the fat, and then we will... Okay, so next we're going to skim the fat, and then we're actually going to take all the meat out. Some people leave bits and pieces of meat in. I'm not. I want to use it for my meal prep this week to make my life easier. So we're gonna go ahead and skim it. I just lightly put the spoon in. Actually, yeah. Okay. Oopsie, missed it down. Put this in real quick. There we just ended getting the meat out. There's not much more. So I'm going to skim a little bit more fat. It's hard to get 100% just the fat, but when you try your best, I have to use to get the broth out of the bottom of this because I already see just a little bit, you see that line. So I can use that to separate it. Okay, cool, because I can just go like this and suck all that broth out. And I do want to point out that this fat is not leaf fat, and this is not the fat that you use to make tallow and like skincare products. I mean, you could use it for cooking, but I definitely would not use it for skincare products or anything like that because it's not like a refined fat. But that's pretty good. Let me try to do one last little. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So now we are going to reheat this broth, bring it up to a boil. Since we're waiting for our broth to heat up, fill your pressure canner, if you have an all-American canner, to 2 to 3 inches of water at the bottom. Make sure your rack is in there. And I'm gonna lubricate this olive oil just because we're waiting on that. And as soon as this boils, we're gonna be putting it right in our jars and pressure canning. So just kind of get a couple steps ahead. That good? Make sure we have our lid. Check our lid for everything's clear. Okay, we're good there. So now we just gotta wait for this to heat up. Okay, so it is full on boiling. So we are going to bring it over to the other counter. Turn off the heat. And we are going to leave an inch of headspace. At least. We've got this one. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour this in. Okay, it's more important to have the right headspace than to have watered down broth. Debubble, not much to debubble, but we'll debubble. Check our headspace. Some of these could add just a tiny bit. So I'm gonna go through and make sure there's just. Oh. Now we're gonna wipe the rims with vinegar. Okay, so next we are going to put the lids on, or seals on. Going to put the bands on, fingertip tight. These are very hot. Okay, and we're going to load these up in the canner. Put them in here. We already have the olive oil on, so we just put our lid on, lock it up. Okay, everything's good. Make sure it's on a good spot on the oven. Turn the heat on high. And we're gonna wait for this to warm up now. Okay, the steam is starting to come out, so we're going to set our timer to 10 minutes. Okay, the 10 minutes is up. We are going to put our weight on. So as you can see, I'm going to put the 10-pound weight on because my elevation is under 1,000. This is really important to know what elevation you are to know what weight you should put on. So if you're above 1,000, you're more likely to put the 15-pound weight on, but this can also adjust your time that you need to pressure can too. So we're gonna go ahead and put the weight on. And once this jiggles, we're going to set our timer for 25 minutes for quarts. If it's a pint, that's 20 minutes. But since we have quarts, we're going to do 25. And once it jiggles, then we can set our timer. And you can also look at the pressure. It's under 5, so it's going to be a while before it jiggles. Okay, so that is our first jiggle. So we're going to set our timer for 25 minutes. And we want this to jiggle 1 to 4 times in a minute. So obviously it's already doing pretty good because it already rested. But it still is a little high, so I'm going to lower my temperature just a little bit. Okay, our timer is almost up. We got about 20 seconds left. So once the timer's off, we are going to take the pressure canner and turn off the heat. Okay, so we have about 1 second left. Okay, so we're going to turn off the heat and let the pressure canner cool down. Okay, the pressure canner is at 0, so we will take the weight off and set a timer for 2 minutes. Okay, we have a couple seconds left. And we're going to undo the lid. Oh, I like to have my gloves. I like to put gloves on because the steam can be kind of hot. Turn it, rotate it away from yourself. And here is some homemade beef broth. Hope you enjoy. Not a good look. Okay, let these sit for 24 hours. Remove the bands, clean the jars and label. Hope you enjoyed.